Okay. Once again, welcome to our breakout session on the Digital Farmers Program. So to start, may I first call our chief, OIC chief in the Information Services Division of the Agricultural Training Institute, Mr. Jovency Calasagsag, for a quick overview of the program.
Check. Thank you, Yan. Good afternoon, everyone. Mayong hapon. Magandang hapon po sa lahat. I think lumabas na po si Miss Juka, no? Actually, one of her barriers mentioned on her presentation was the tech averse of our farmers when it comes to using various mobile applications or ICT applications. So I think perhaps this presentation is already an answer to that. And this is one of the government's efforts in narrowing the digital divide when it comes to digital agriculture. So, next slide. Again, as we all know, agriculture, being one of the most essential industries in the country, however, the sector, and I think all of you will agree, still challenged with this is a constant battle cry of every administration to ensure food on every Filipino's plate. And of course, on how to open doors to farmers for them to improve their economic conditions. And again, the very core of our program this afternoon or today is the narrowing of the digital divide and empowering farmers through technology and innovations. So this is the solution that being implemented by the Department of Agriculture, Agricultural Training Institute with our partner implementers. In 2019, the Agricultural Training Institute and PLDT Smart. I think familiar naman tayong lahat. Wala naman sigurong foreigner dito. One of the biggest telecommunications company in the Philippines forged a partnership that has since exceeded our expectations. What began as a modest digital literacy for local farmers has become one of the major programs of the Institute. Yet our goal has remained simple, to equip our farmers with knowledge and skills, and of course, confidence to thrive in the digital age. When we talk about Digital Farmers Program, we always say that it is not a product that we are not, and we are not selling the products of our partners from PLDT and Smart. It is neither a service, an application, nor a platform. Instead, Digital Farmers Program or DFP is a learning experience or a learning journey. It is a series of foundational activities for our farmers and youth geared towards a digitally enabled farming community. We have applied the lessons that we have learned in implementing ICT-based interventions, where we used to focus first on the product, application, and platform without considering the capability of our target audience in order for them to adapt. That is why here in DFP, we focused on building farmers' capacities so that they will appreciate the use of available modern technologies for them to fully embrace and utilize. We hope to hone and we aspire for them to become digital farmers. From its humble beginnings as an upskilling course in 2019, the DFP has now evolved into a comprehensive program encompassing training, networking opportunities, digital resource provision, and smart farm certification, all aimed at fostering the widespread adoption of modern agricultural technologies. We'll talk about the first component, the Farm Learn. The Farm Learn is the capacity building component of the program that helps digital adoption of farmers and youth through learning courses on basic, mobile, and internet literacy, agri applications, social media marketing, and e-commerce, as well as smart agriculture technologies, which are being implemented via face-to-face and online. Kung nandito pa sana si Ms. Juka, we will ask her because nag-focus siya kanina on the trust issues, the selling of different fake products. So I think kung merong improvements sa gagawin namin sa modules ng DFP, kasi sa ngayon po, we focus on internet safety. So I think kung may enhancement doon and if willing po ang company ni Ms. Juka mag-partner sa ATI to enhance our module to include those information, mas maganda po. From helping farmers familiarize themselves with the basics of smartphones and the internet, then introducing them to the power of social media marketing and e-commerce, the program continued to design a new learning experience with smart agriculture technologies, which consequently formed into a ladderized training program. We have started rolling out DFP 103 for rice, and hopefully this year, we will be able to develop modules for DFP 103 for cacao in collaboration with our regional training center in Davao or in Region 11, and MEDA, an international non-government organization, as well as DFP 103 on smart greenhouse production in collaboration with our regional training center in Calabarzon. And just recently, we have also a discussion with one of our specialized training center on pig husbandry, wherein we are developing DFP 103 for swine. This component under DFP Farm Learn is a learner-centered training program wherein sessions were designed to be 20% lecture and 80% hands-on activities. Pairing mechanisms are also being employed throughout the training program with one farmer, one youth ratio to ensure that all farmers participants were guided and all their questions were accommodated. We also employ a gamified approach through training passports and completion badges to encourage all participants, especially the youth, to engage and finish the training. The DFP Farm Learn has collaborated with various public institutions to develop and package for the program, and package the content and the learning materials for the programs and the participants. This include East West Seed Philippines, Smarter Approach to Reinvigorate Agriculture as an Industry in the Philippines, the one presented during our plenary session this morning, and of course, Limitless Lab. In addition, the program continues to evolve or to be involved in the other engagements and projects related to digital agriculture. Sharing the same goal and vision with DFP, the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund used the program's module and incorporated the promotion of rice-based agriculture applications and tools in the digital agriculture course for smart schools training of trainers. Since in its inception, the DFP has empowered over 8,000 participants, including farmers, youth, and agricultural extension workers, among others, through our network of training centers nationwide. So here are some of the Farm Learn rollout photos that we have conducted throughout the years since 2019. Okay, for the next component, under the Digital Farmers Program, we have the Farm Tech component. The DFP Farm Tech component is about provision of package of technology to farmers' organizations and learning sites for agriculture to bring the DFP trainings in their respective municipalities, especially the hard-to-reach areas, through the provision of access to technology, connectivity, and agriculture-related content. This package serves as a portable training and livelihood resource for farming communities. This component was just launched last February, and a total of 30 DFP Farm Tech packages are expected to be deployed nationwide through the ATI network of training centers, or RTCs, this 2014. This is being supported, of course, by PLDT Smart. Another component is the Farm Connect component. Farm Connect is an initiative that aims to connect farmers to farmers groups to digital agriculture service providers, such as drone technology services for seed, fertilizer, and pesticide spraying, among others. With this, connecting farmers to service providers hopes to foster a relationship that empowers both parties and drives agricultural prosperity by bridging the gap between farmers and service providers, modernizing agriculture, improving efficiency, and adoption of sustainable agricultural practices can be achieved. Lastly, the farm sale component. Under this component, we aim to certify smart farms. Patterned from the Learning Site for Agriculture Accreditation Program of ATI, the certification of smart farms intends to support farms which can serve as conduit to demonstrating and providing digital agriculture-related extension services in communities. This component likewise hopes to recognize local government units that have established a strong partnership or engagement with ATI networks of training centers in exemplifying smart, innovative, effective, and sustainable agriculture and food security programs and initiatives. Hopefully, we will be able to launch this by 2025. We are currently finalizing or drafting the guidelines for this last component, the farm seal. So that is the Digital Farmers Program at a glance. In just a while, Marian will be introducing to us our very special guest for this afternoon. And we are happy that we have invited some of our partner farmers in the DFP to share various insights and perspectives in pushing for sector that no farmer left behind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Joven, for that quick overview of the Digital Farmers Program. At this point, before we proceed with the introduction of our panelists, let us watch a video provided to us by one of our speakers or experts from the Central Bicol State University of Agriculture.
Sinong may sabing hindi pwede? Sinong may sabing imposible? Ba't ka nandyan sa tabi? Ba't ka nagpapahuli? Ba't ka nagpapaakrabyado? Ba't ka laging nagpapatalo? Alam kong hindi madali, pero hindi pa huli. Ang lahat ika'y sapat para makamit ang tagumpay. Pakinggan ang sigaw ng puso mo, huwag ka nang malumbay. Sige tayo, sige angat, sige ipakita sa lahat. Pag-asang nag-aalab, pangarap kay liwanag. Lahat magagawa, basta magsikap magtyaga. Sa Diyos ay magtiwala, at laging nasa tama. Sige magsipag ka, dahil pagkatapos sisigat na ang araw mo. Basta desidido, pusong pusigido.
Ako po si Richard Quintana from LGU Canaman, Camarines Sur. As AEW na ako ang nag-training dito, may share ko sa aking mga kasama sa aming LGU or sa aming opisina. Hindi na kami mahihirapan sa pagrekomenda sa mga aming mga farmers. Gamit nitong digital farmers program na mga application, malalaman na namin kung anong sakit or anong peste ang dumapos sa kanilang palayan. Mas mababawasan ang aming mga oras na maigugugol. Pero kailangan pa din namin pumunta sa farm para for confirmation.
Ako po si Renato Avenue, Sarong AIW sa Legazpi City, Albay. Sa digital farming po, malaking tulong yan sa pagmamarket ng mga magsasaka ng kanilang produkto. Kasi sa ngayon, kung halimbawa po ang isang magsasaka nag-ani ng kanilang produkto, dadaan pa sila sa middleman. Pwede na lang i-post ang kanilang produkto. At sa isang iglap lang, minuto nga o segundo, marami na po magkaka-interest o makikita ang kanilang produkto.
I'm Mylene Orolfo from LGU Ginobatan assigned as AEW from Department of Agriculture. Gawin po namin sa mga farmer, i-re-echo po namin yung mga gagawin dito, yung mga apps na na-download po namin, isi-share po namin sa kanila, then i-guide po namin sila one by one dun sa apps na ginamit namin dito kung paano din ma-enhance sila males din po yung tanong nila about po dun sa mga pests and diseases na umaatake po sa, particularly po sa palay.
Ako po si Manuel C. Bartolay ng Kabangrean PB Corpus Masbate. Ang training na ginagawa ngayon na tungkol sa Digital Agriculture Course ay napakahalaga para maibahagi namin sa mga magsasaka ang kanilang kaalaman tungkol sa paggamit ng cellphones para mapabilis at tama at accurate ang kanilang mga ginagawa sa araw-araw sa kanilang pagsasaka ng palay.
Lahat magagawa, basta magsikap magtyaga. Sa Diyos ay magtiwala at laging nasa tama. Sige, magsipag ka dahil pagkatapos sisikat na ang araw mo. Basta desidido, pusong porsigido.
Ako si Richard,
Ako si Mylene,
Ako si Renato,
may pusong porsigido.
may pusong porsigido.
may pusong porsigido.
Sige, magsipag ka dahil pagkatapos sisikat na ang araw mo. Basta desidido, pusong porsigido, porsigido. Ako, porsigido tayo.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's now proceed. Our first panelist is someone who we already met this morning. Okay, so for our first panelist, may we call Mr. Charlie Pasakian, sir? He is the president of Midpapan Balogo or MidPal, Communal Irrigators Association Incorporated. Hailing from Midpapan, Pigcawayan, Cotabato, is one of the ATI Region 12's proof that farming can cultivate great farmers and leaders. A graduate in mechatronics technology from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, Mr. Pasakian served as a faculty member before working as an OFW in Taiwan till 2017 and eventually as a rice farmer. Currently, as the Irrigators Association President of the Midpapan Balogo Communal Irrigators Association, Inc., he has led the association to remarkable achievements, including the Outstanding Association at both the provincial and national levels in 2022, the Natatanging Agriculture and Fishery Council Award in 2023, and is consistently receiving outstanding irrigation management transfer evaluations from 2020 to 2023. Mr. Pasakian, along with 39 other members and their youth from the Midpal Irrigators Association, took on the Digital Farmers Program and became the pilot batch of the DFP 103 for rice last October 2022. The Midpal IA is also a DFP FarmTech beneficiary with ongoing plans to deliver DFP training programs in their locality. So once again, we have Sir Charlie Pasakian. Next up, we have Miss Priyanina Resplandor, co-owner of Myriad Farms. Miss Nina, please come in front and take your seat. She transitioned her career in management consultancy to become a successful farmer. In 2012, together with her partner Fern, their interest in agriculture blossomed when Fern saw potential in her farming or family property, leading them to transform it into Myriad Farms in Gimba, Nueva Ecija, and fully commit to farming, integrating diverse crops and sustainable practices. Today, Myriad Farms spans 10 hectares, primarily cultivating various rice varieties and also housing fruit-bearing trees, vegetables, and livestock. Myriad Farms has achieved significant success through partnerships with government agencies. In 2019, it became an ATI certified learning site for agriculture and was later accredited as Farm Field School by the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or the TESDA, and as an agritourism site by the Department of Tourism. It also earned certification for Philippine Good Agricultural Practices, or PhilGAP, for rice, vegetables, and mango production. With its reputation as a hands-on farm school, they established the Myriad Farms Agribusiness Skills Training and Assessment Center Incorporated, attracting students from Gimba and nearby towns. They offer TESDA certifications on production of high-quality inbred rice, pest and nutrition management, and the digital agriculture course for RCEF. Indeed, their innovative approach and commitment to sustainability have made Myriad Farms a model of successful agricultural transformation. So that's our second panelist, Ms. Frianina Resplandor. Next, we also have Mr. Vladimir Foronda, Director of the Digital Agriculture Innovation Center of the Central Bicol State University for Agriculture. Sir, welcome. He is a professor and the director of the Extension Services Division and at the same time serving as the Digital Agriculture Innovation Center Director, as mentioned, at the CBSUA. He serves as a co-investigator on the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, funded Project Climate Risk Management and Disaster Preparedness in the Philippines for Agriculture and Fisheries. Additionally, he plays a crucial role in the FAO Disaster Preparedness European Community Humanitarian Office, funded project enhancing capacities for disaster risk reduction in agriculture in Cambodia and the Philippines, where he is responsible for developing software for post-disaster damage and needs assessment in agriculture. Currently, he's leading the team from CBSUA in collaboration with the ATI Regional Training Center in Bicol in advancing Bicolano farmers' digital agriculture literacy through the Digital Farmers Program. To further support this partnership, he likewise collaborated with other members of the university in furthering ICT integration and to various agriculture-related courses and other innovation in research. So again, our third panelist, Mr. Vladimir Foronda. Let me first take my seat. All right. Now that we're able to get to know our panelists, let us start our discussion. Specifically, ma'am and sir, with defining digital agriculture in one word. And what significance do you think digital agriculture holds for Filipino farmers in today's context?
Okay, most importantly, digital agriculture actually has modernized farming practices of our local rice farmers, specifically with their usage of their rice applications that was developed by the government as well as some of the private companies. And experience-wise, during our trainings, most of our farmer training participants are very enthusiastic with the program and they very much welcome adapting new and modern technologies, which helps them a lot in terms of improving their farming practices, increasing their productivity, and thereby reducing their production costs.
Thank you, Ms. Nina. Apologies, I failed to mention that this question is directed to each and every one of our panel members. We heard from Ms. Nina, and now let's hear from Sir Foronda.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for ATI for inviting me to be part of this conference. Digital agriculture in general, as we applied it now, covers a wide range of efforts and technology, starting from the smart farming up to precision agriculture. But in general, the intention of this thought is to improve productivity of the farmers in ensuring that every cent, every unit of the resources generates a better proportion, giving more advantage to them rather than giving more headaches. Katulad kanina, maghapon, we heard a lot of long list of challenges. But it's true, this one is part of realities that we need to face. So as we drive, digital agriculture, we look at the efforts of how do we adapt or make our farming smarter and more precise and improve our productivity and definitely our income. That's how we look at digital agriculture this time.
Thank you, sir. How about Sir Charlie? May we hear your thoughts?
Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, for me, digital agriculture, if I define it in one word, it would be now. Because it's very timely to adopt this kind of technology, especially for the Filipino farmer. And in the field of our, as a farmer, we need it now badly, because the world is already in this road, and yet the Filipino farmers are still far behind. And this is a very, very big challenge for the government, especially to the extension workers, and also for us, the associations, to what do you call this, roll out to the farmers, to literate them in terms of digitalization, because it is the very trend on the farming, not only in the production, but also in terms of marketing.
Thank you, sir. As mentioned, digital agriculture in one word for Sir Charlie is now. And it's so timely that we're also having this ICT for agriculture now and today at this moment. Okay, so moving on to our next question. Again, this is a question meant for all our panel members. First, could you elaborate on the role of your organization in advancing digital agriculture literacy and innovation in the Philippines? Specifically, perspective of being an IA, an LSA, and as SUC representative, sir.
As an higher education institution, personally, I do believe that SUC must play a critical role of consolidating all these efforts into one. Okay. Second, because there are actors in the whole chain. Okay. So SUC or other higher education can collaborate, build a network of this through the help of ATI or Department of Agriculture in general. Once we build that network, di ba? Parang ting-ting yan, di ba? Lalakas. We can sweep a lot of things. We can do a lot of things. Then we can now start initiating. Maybe we could initiate those questions that can only be answered by debates, or maybe product presentation, or maybe technology development. Or for HEI, we could deploy students on IT to be deployed in the private sector, and other farmers, maybe like LSA, to help them adopt digital farming in their own farms or in their own institution. That's how I look at the role of state universities and colleges in the Philippines to be your partner in ensuring that digital agriculture are adapted and sustained for the farmers.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Nina, specifically as an IA.
Okay, as a LSA, you mean, as a learning
LSA,
site.
rather.
Okay, as a learning site, yeah, it is. I think we play a crucial part in disseminating the information with digital agriculture. Part of our mandate, being partners of the government as extension service provider, is to provide knowledge and trainings to our local farmers so that they would be able to educate. We will be able to educate them with today's modern technology and make like what Sir Jov mentioned earlier, this is a learning process. So it's a learning journey for them. And this is something really new, especially for our rice farmers who are in the age of 50s and above. And I think involving the youth, their children, to be a part of the learning process plays a major role in getting them more interested with the program and utilizing the applications as well.
Thank you, Ms. Nina.
On our part, as the farmers, we are the end user of this program. Our association has also is also playing a vital role in rolling out these programs of the government, because we are the one who is always tapped by the agencies. They are coming to us, and we are the one who identifies those end user farmer, and we can validate their identity as a farmer, how much area do they have, and we can offer the agencies areas for their demo sites, and also as end users, we play a vital role in monitoring our farmers if they truly apply and if they truly practice those digital platforms that the government and the private agencies are developing for our farmers.
Thank you, sir. So in a nutshell, we heard consolidation, dissemination, identification, and monitoring. So that's our big words in digital agriculture. All right. So next, let me direct this question to Sir Charlie. Again, sorry, sir. You have to answer the question consecutively. All right. First question. How has your background in mechatronics technology influenced your approach to farming and leadership within the Mid-Belt Irrigators Association?
Of course, I think it plays a vital role on adaptation of digitalization because as mechatronics practitioner, robotics, I've been there already, and I know what's the direction of digitalization. That's why I'm eager to adopt this kind of technology because as an experience also in our area, I have members because I am also a federation president of Irrigators Association in the North Cotabato. Some of the presidents, some of the leaders are hesitant to accept because it's just a waste of time. It's for them because they don't understand what's behind that, what's the future on that. But for me, as mechatronics practitioner, electronics and IT also, I have experience. I have the eagerness, and that I use that passion to motivate my farmers to adapt this kind of technology on our area.
All right, sir. Building on that, could you share some key outcomes or benefits that your association has experienced since participating in the Digital Farmers Program?
Okay, so we have a lot of advantage now, especially this previous phenomena, the El Nino. We build resiliency on our farmers because of the digital platforms that we have introduced to them. In those practices, for example, when we heard the El Nino phenomena that is coming on our area, we advise the farmers to plant those resilient varieties for El Nino. So, and also, we can also recommend them the right variety by using the apps, which is the Binhing Palay apps. So there we can see the different varieties that shows their resiliency to different pests and their productivity also. So it was an edge for us because during this past harvest, even though it was not that good, but at least we have somehow maintained our yield. And unlike other part of our municipality that they were so affected with the phenomena because they were not that prepared. So I think that was one of the edge of adopting this digital platform of technology in our rice farming.
Thank you, Sir Charlie. With what you share, we can really see how digital agriculture contribute in terms of reducing vulnerabilities, right, in the sector. Okay, let's now move on to Miss Nina. Miss Nina, could you highlight some notable achievements or changes at Myriad Farms since becoming involved in digital agriculture initiatives? And how has the digital agriculture course for RCEF impacted the skills and knowledge of farmers trained at the Myriad Farms?
Okay. Well, for one, most notable would be our enhanced crop monitoring and management. We at Period Farms has implemented advanced digital agriculture tools in our farming practices, such as usage of drones and satellite images. This helped us to monitor our crop health and soil condition, which led us to a more precise application of water, fertilizer, and other farming inputs. We also focus more on data-driven analysis. So we have adopted a system wherein we were able to utilize and analyze data for our production since we started from 2017 prior to digitalization and after being able to use digital tools. No? So it has improved our decision-making processes, and we're able to pinpoint areas wherein we can improve our what do you call this? We can improve where we can save on our inventory management, as well as proper crop protection and management. It has increased also our efficiency in terms of utilizing mechanized modern mechanized planting because it gives us an opportunity to reduce our cost in terms of less labor and with the use of drones and other machines that would help us improve our farming practices. It has also improved our production yield. And it has paved the way for us to better be engaged with our customers, with our clients, because we are highly engaged in social media, and it is very easy for us to market our produce in terms of using social media marketing. So basically, this has made a turning point for us in terms of our farm management.
Thank you, Ms. Nina. So resiliency and then decision making, and what's next? All right, but before that, let's proceed to another question for Ms. Nina. How do you measure the impact of digital literacy programs on the overall performance and sustainability of Myriad Farms?
Okay. Overall, digitalization has brought about a great change in terms of our farm management and also in our practice. And it has, like I mentioned earlier, it has greatly reduced our production cost and increased our productivity, which we are able to impart to our training participants, especially now that we are a farm school and we are engaged more with our local farmers, and it digitalization gives us an opportunity to reach more farmers in far-flung areas because we were, thank you to ATI and SMART, we were given the package of technology for farm tech, which enables us to reach more farmers, bring the technology to them without them coming to the farms to get the necessary training and get them more involved and appreciate digital technology.
Thank you, Ms. Nina. Those are really great contributions and insights in terms of the DFP journey as an LSA. All right, let's now move on to the insights from the SUC. Sir Vladimir, as the director of the Digital Agriculture Innovation Center, what inspired your focus on advancing digital literacy among Bicolano farmers?
These two guys beside me are a concrete example why we should be, inspired of. Their smile, their satisfaction, their experience is more than the sweat that we devote to them. And there are still a lot of farmers around us who somehow experience the potential of digital agriculture. And sabi ko nga niyan, the desire, yung ang tawag niyan, pangangailangan, to resolve day-to-day issues in farming can be answered somehow by digital agriculture is already an inspiration for us. Coupled, of course, we are in the SUC, we partner with students. We also like their eagerness And they want also to, work closely with new technologies, learn how it can be useful. So that's why I really love ATI for this, because they were able to somehow, combine the desire attitude of the farmer to resolve things. And you see, you mobilize also students who are so eager to use IT, bind their desire and one eagerness into one, then help each other to resolve things. These, I think, are two inspirational ideas and experiences in the journey of our university. And for that reasons, we created shall we say, the youngest center in our university, the Digital Agriculture Innovation Center, to work closely with ATI and mobilizing students to help our farmers.
Thank you, sir. So inspire and desire, another big words in the digital agriculture realm. Another question, sir.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the future trajectory of digital agriculture education and its integration into the formal curricula at SUCs across the country?
That's a good question. Maybe I will use the word integration. Okay. If you could still remember in the past, maybe a decade ago, there were an intensive debate about adoption of organic agriculture and then later on sustainable agriculture. What the university did is to make more strategic option and a strategic stance towards this. We embedded sustainable agriculture to the curriculum. For now, all our courses in CBSUA, you are required to take one subject on sustainable agriculture. It's a 3 units. Now we have in front of us digital agriculture. Okay? Gagawin din ba namin to? What we did in sustainable agriculture? Initially, the emotions of the faculty now and other members of the university academic sector is to again use the same framework we did with sustainable agriculture. Maybe with your help, we would like again to inspire ourselves to integrate digital farming to the course. I hope we will be able to do that. But initially, a few months ago, we were able to integrate digital farming subject to the PhD program. Not as a major, not as a major subject, but as a required subject. Yeah, as a required subject. And we are hopeful that we can also do that on the undergraduate programs. Okay, we hope that CBSU and other SUC will be that will be our contribution strategically on digital agriculture. Hindi lang po natin tuturuan yung mga farmers, at least yung mga anak nila as they go home, they have the same level of understanding what's the use of digital farming and digital agriculture. That's how we complement.
Thank you, Sir Vladimir, for letting us know the efforts of the CBSUA. We hope that more SUCs are really practicing or at least starting to practice the integration in terms of digital agriculture in their courses, in their curriculum, right? All right, so let's continue with another question that's meant for everyone. Let's start with Sir Charlie again. Sir Charlie, what are the key components of an effective digital literacy program tailored for farmers like the ATI and the PLDT Smart's Digital Farmers Program? What is one thing you most appreciate about the DFP apart from the things that you've mentioned earlier in terms of resiliency and reducing the vulnerability in the sector?
So I think what's a very effective way of delivering the program to us, as we can see, farmers are already mindset on to see is to believe. That's their mindset. To see is to believe. I think what the DFP program is doing, they always show. They always cater those needs of the farmer. And by doing farm demos, it shows the farmer the effect of this program. And the adaptability with that is increasing also. I think because nowadays, those farmers they would say, tumanda na ako dito. Ito na yung ginawa ko. I've been there. And adaptability is for them with this new technology is not that high. But if you will give them demonstration, show with them the result, not by just graphs that you show on PowerPoints, the actual result in the field. That's what the farmer wants. And that's what the government is doing through the ATI. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Charlie. How about Miss Nina?
Well, for us at Myriad Farms, it's very easy for us to engage with the local farmers. And what's nice is that we get to hear real stories from the farmers themselves on how they are adapting these technologies into their farming practices and what are the results of using this modern technology. We have had several actually we since the program started in 2022, we were able to complete trainings for 425 farmers already has graduated from our school, and for this year we are looking at completing 800 more farmers that will be able to undergo this digital agriculture course with the help of RCEF also. And it has made a big impact in their lives, especially with the involvement of their children, because now being digital encourages their youth, their children to be more participative, to be more active, to take more interest, to become more interested rather than playing games on their mobile phones. And they are now actually seeing a brighter future in the agricultural field. Some of the children are actually now thinking of taking agricultural courses instead of taking IT or working in a call center. So this gives us a better advantage of ensuring the sustainability of the program.
Thank you, Ms. Nina. How about Sir Vladimir?
Di pa sapat yun. I'll give you only one word maybe to synthesize my impression about the DFP. It's flexible. Okay. It's adaptive to the issues and concern of the farmers. It's flexible enough to adapt to the different clients. Either you are farmers, you are youth, you are women, etc., etc. Kaya nila yun. Their module and curricula is adaptable to them. Okay, maybe a lot of you don't know that they only started with 101, DFP 101. Okay, it's very basic, just to know what is internet, how to access internet, how to protect your when accessing, etc. And made it to 102 and 103 to advance. That's how they started, and it evolved, from 101 to 103. Now, they have Farm Connect, diba? They are now starting to expose farmers how to negotiate with and coordinate with service providers. And it's happy to see that they are already starting to expose farmers to use more advanced technology like drones. See, it evolves, okay? And now, for me, as a reward, I think I'm looking at it as a reward. You give now packages, technology packages for successful organizations who adopts this technology. And I do hope you will mobilize them further. That this association, Myriad Irrigators Association, in other associations, you share that certification and technology to be an instrument to replicate. Okay. Sila napagpilotan di ba? I hope you could maximize them and convince them to be a catalyst now with the other farmers rather than a recipient. That's how I look at it. In general, DFP is very, very flexible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insights, ma'am and sir. Again, in terms of digital literacy program, we have heard from our panelists, it should be based on actual results, based on actual or real life stories, and flexible. All right. Once again, thank you for your insights Ma'am and sir, this ends our discussion, but at this point, let us proceed with the awarding of certificates.